about this with Michael Cole, who's a former Royal Correspondent and joins us now. Good morning to you, Michael.
Good morning, Julia. Doesn't this display a most extraordinary sense of self-entitlement by the Sussexes?
How unlike Meghan and Harry.
I can't decide whether they are being naive or simply crass. Now, I haven't been on Air Force One, but I've been on the press plane behind, which goes always with it. And there are very strict protocols concerning Air Force One. And the Americans had no difficulty at all in instantly turning down this extraordinary request from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, because when the president flies, if he has members of his family or friends who are not part of the official party, he actually pays their fare. Yeah. And there is a reporter, a pool reporter on the plane, on Air Force One, who does a pool report for everybody else about what happens during the flight. And he pays his flight too. I don't know what they were thinking of doing. Yeah. I mean, hitching a ride on the most famous aircraft in the world. And when they get to Washington, Andrews Air Force Base, were they hoping to pick up another private jet with one of their pals to fly on to California all the time, displaying their eco credentials? Yeah. I mean, it is an extraordinary event. And I think it does reveal rather more than perhaps they expected.
Oh, well, exactly. But the thing is, and again, someone would have had to pay their way on this. And again, they're very happy to get a private jet while they're pontificating on eco issues. But the key thing here is this idea that we're that important. We can kitchen lift. He's the grandson of the Queen, and therefore he can do this. They just completely misread the situation. Whether it comes to Democrats in the White House, or whether it comes to Hollywood stars in Hollywood, in California, actually, people have basically had to pick a side. Are you with Harry and Meghan? Are you with the royal family? And funnily enough, they've decided to go with the royal family largely. It does appear that the star, Harry and Meghan, hasn't risen as far as they'd hoped. Netflix, Spotify, people getting rid of their deals. They're not... They have been box office, but they've only got one story to tell. People getting a bit bored with that story. And actually, this wannabe thing is really putting a lot of people off.
Well, you've said quite a lot there. It's also worth saying that if the president uses Air Force One to go on a campaign trip or a party political trip, he also plays his own way there. Yeah. I mean, it's not as if they're asking for a lift in the president's private SUV home from the graveside.
But also, can't they afford their own flights?
It is truly extraordinary. And as you say, their popularity is plummeting in America in all sorts of ways. The thing about the Americans is that they always want what's new, what's the next thing. We're the home of nostalgia. This is why all the old American actors come over here and appear in pantomime and all the rest of it. Over there, they want what's new, and they've heard what the Sussexes shtick is, and they're looking around and saying, so what? OK, she's the Duchess. What's next? But what is interesting to do with this, I mean, she obviously has political ambitions. Yeah. And maybe she was trying to cozy up to, well, the top man in the Democratic Party with a view to perhaps standing for office herself.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about that, isn't there? I don't think it's going to happen in the end. Michael Cole, former Royal Correspondent, thank you for joining us on that story. I just love that story. They're just such freeloaders. They really are. Sam Armstrong, just a quick word on that.
Yeah, well, President Meghan, goodness me.
The least said about that, the better.